video. So you put the VR thing on, and the few scenarios that you can do is that I can look around my office and I'll be on Namek, and I can just see the layout of Namek. I'm just looking. You don't move around. You don't interact. You just look around. The other thing you do is you can look at your normal site, right? And I could look at Brogan, and if you remember in Dragon Ball Z, old school Dragon Ball Z, it used to give you your key, and the quote of it's over 9,000. So I can look at Brogan, and it'll give me a number at the bottom of his key, and then I can look at Buddy and be like, he's lesser key because he's a weaker Saiyan, and he's
damn.
And then the third thing you can do is I could look at normally, and then I can Kamehameha wave people. That's it. And I'm like, dude, that's the effort you put into this $600 item that I'm going to use. Yeah. And that's the game. If that type of game comes out too often and frequently, then it's going to lose the credibility of that console because, hey, I can go play the 1 in a million haunted house game, or I can play 500 of these garbage games where I just look at me. I was like, Dragon Ball Z, I loved it. And then I watched, I was like, who the hell would pay for this?
Do you have to play through like 20 episodes to get anything?
Yeah, before anything happens, yeah.
So, Buddy, we brought up earlier Nintendo getting into the game, and like to me, it almost seems like, you know how you can use your Samsung Galaxy whatever and have that Galaxy VR experience where you pop the thing into a headset and you put that on. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Like, the Switch itself is probably kind of catered to be able to do that if you really wanted to, like pop that into a peripheral and then put it on your head. Might be a little heavy, but I mean, I think they could do it. Like, Buddy, you're against them doing a VR thing, or?
I don't know. I just don't think it's Nintendo's thing, really. Like, I feel like VR is based on realism, right? They want to try to immerse you in the experience and stuff. I feel like Nintendo's thing has always been focused on the gameplay over the realism.
I think, like, VR wants to immerse you in whatever world it wants to immerse you in. So if that means, like, you get thrown into, like, the Mushroom Kingdom, and all of a sudden you, like, look down at your hands and you're wearing these little, like, white gloves.
And you're Mario.
And you're Mario. Like, would that be something you'd be cool with? But then it's like, what would you do?
Yeah, because Mario is just a running, jumping game. And that's a very difficult
they could
thing.
make it that.
It'd be pretty cool, actually.
There's a game called Audio Shield, and basically you listen to music, and these like bubbles or orbs fly at you in different colors, and you have different. Your right shield is blue, and I think your left one's orange, and so these orbs of color fly at you, and when you put your shields together, it makes purple. So that's how they could make the game. Like for Mario, you could actually maybe for Oculus they have actual like analog joysticks, but for Vive they don't have that. So you could actually walk, but you would actually have to jump. You'd actually have to like throw a punch or something like that. So I feel like VR wants to immerse you, but also get you active in the game.
I'm gonna blow your fucking mind, Buddy. Tell me you would not love this.
Okay.
Right?
Oh no.
You have. So normally Mario games are all running and jumping, side scrolling, or even 3D. But do you remember Luigi's Mansion?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Imagine VR Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, like an Outlast or whatever version
You're
of Mario.
fucking in a mansion, and you gotta.
Boo is chasing you or
Boo,
something.
Oh my god.
See, then I wouldn't be able to play it. So I'm against that.
That sounds awesome. So
You'd be scared of that.
in your hands
I
are
don't know.
ghost catching devices, and you got to do exactly what you're supposed to do. Turn your back; they get closer. That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
In like 2000, a long time ago, I was probably like 9 or 10 or something. We went to Disney World, my family and I. We went to the Haunted Mansion, and I cried before we even got on the ride. I never went on the ride.
And you're gonna watch the movie It with us?
Yes. To be fair,
He's
I
gonna shit his pants.
legitimately used to be scared of that ride too. I couldn't do it. I used to be a very scared kid, for sure.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
It's a
watching
little
that.
earlier than the year
I think we all
2000.
are.
But
VR Luigi's Mansion, I don't know. I mean, I'm older now. I might be able to get through it, but it'd be tough. It'd be tough.
That was such a good game, though. That was a great game.
Buddy, I love you,
Underappreciated game, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if they released that for the Switch.
You know what? Can we talk about the Nintendo shop for the Switch? I'm sorry, but you don't have it. I want Pokemon Go or not Pokemon Go. I want Pokemon Red and Blue on that thing so bad, and so far there's nothing else on there that I've seen that I actually want. I mean, yeah, there's the hard copies of Ukulele and those other games.
Mario Kart.
But I'm talking
Pass, I heard, is
about
really good.
old school games. I want Pokemon Red and Blue so bad. Because they have it in the Nintendo shop, but not for the Switch.
Yeah, I'm confused as to what Nintendo's strategy is, but at the same time, I think I really appreciate what Nintendo's
So
strategy
what,
is.
Is it the
release-
store? Or
No, yeah, it's an online
Like,
digital store.
so it's like the PS store? The PS
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about less of where and how you get the game, and more of just their like slow drip that they're doing right now of
it's
content.
painfully slow though.
But I think it's really working for them because like
What
Zelda.
do you mean by
was-
that? Like, what's
you
the
look-
like the release
Can you do me
cadence?
a favor,
there?
buddy? Can you look at
They're
the
not
attach rate?
They're not releasing anything. That thing
Attach
I
rate
checked it in the
for
first time
Zelda
in
and
months
Mario Kart.
since Switch came out, and it's the same games with the exception of Ukulele and Mario Kart. Other than that, I'm not seeing anything new on there, and nothing really that excites me. I'm like, yeah, put these new things on there, but man, you can throw some other shit on there and make so much
No,
money.
they have Metal Gear on there. Metal Gear, or no, not Metal Gear. Sorry, Metal Slug is on there.
Yeah, I saw that, but I have that on my Xbox
We used to play
already.
the fuck out of that
I
game.
already have it on my Xbox. I don't
Yeah.
need it on my Switch
Yeah.
anymore. Now, granted, it's a handheld and I can walk around with it, so it might be a good idea. But I don't.
So
know.
I have Buddy looking at the attach rate. So my point is, I think it's insane. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure. I think my point is, it's insane the amount of Zelda games. Maybe that's not insane. I mean, it makes sense. Like if you bought a Switch, you're buying Zelda, right? I mean, like what else are you gonna buy right when it came out? I think it was somewhere up in like the 87% of people who bought a Switch bought Zelda, which I don't know why it's not higher.
What are the 13%
yeah,
doing?
what are you playing, right?
So just on Switch alone, Breath of the Wild, right? The Switch, this is an article from Kotaku, I think 3 days ago. Yep, May 1st. So the Switch itself sold 2.74 million units. Breath of the Wild did 2.76 million units. That's 102% attach rate. That's just for the Switch, though. Breath of the Wild also came out on the Wii U. Doesn't include that number at all.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So that is a win for it. Can you look up the Mario Kart attach rate?
Yeah, I don't know if that's out yet since it just came out a week ago.
I think
but
I
I'll try
saw
to
an
find
article.
it.
It might have been Kotaku that released it. But I think my point is their strategy is to say, okay, one game at a time, and everyone's going to buy that game. It's like surefire. Now, I don't know if that makes sense from a business standpoint. I don't pretend to be like an analyst for the video game companies or anything like that. But I mean, like, imagine if like Xbox released a new system and it was like, all right, here's Halo. All right, cool. Like 2 months later, here's Gears of War. Okay, 2 months later, here is Forza. 2 months later, here's this. Where it's like, oh God, I'm just craving another game for this new system I bought. I'm definitely going to buy whatever another major title comes out.
It's kind of flipping back to the old school way of how we used to get content for video games.
Yeah, that's true.
You would wait forever. You would actually wait for a magazine to come out and go through the magazine and get to the actual game that you want to actually read about. And then you might see a teaser trailer.
That was the best.
You might see something like that, like run through a commercial, maybe. But then you'd have to do all your like research through magazines, through like articles, and
I remember even having a file, like a folder on my old home computer. That was a Halo 2 folder where I downloaded every single trailer that came out for Halo 2, the E3 gameplay footage, like the first Zanzibar footage, like everything. And like Wyatt used to come over and we just like watch like the trailers and be like, oh
And
my
then
God, I
all
can't
of
wait
it
for
was
this game.
incorrect because they redid the entire game.
Yeah.
They revamped the entire game.
I think Buddy's got a Mario Kart
Yeah, I
story.
found the Mario Kart one. According to Polygon article May 1st, 45% of Switch owners have the game.
Like, that's a pretty insane attach rate. Like, I don't think you can compare that to any other system, right? Like, 45% of, like, almost half of people who have a Switch bought that game. Now, maybe you could say Halo is probably the same way for Xbox. Like, Xbox...
So you're saying
is-
like a big title release with the actual console is the reason they bought the
They
console.
only have 2 big titles, 3 if you count Ukulele.
Yeah.
It's literally since the creation.
What would
of Switch.
PlayStation's big title be? I know it used to be Killzone. It tried to be Killzone, but Killzone obviously didn't
Killed
work out.
itself.
Killed itself.
Uncharted. I think Uncharted,
Uncharted?
is huge for
Well,
it.
cause that's why I bought the newest one because it came with the Uncharted edition.
God, what a good game, Uncharted
Yeah.
4. Oh, holy shit, such a good game. It's amazing. Have you played any of that, Wyatt, or have you seen me play any of that?
I've seen maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, it's such a good game. It's amazing.
The guy looks like the actor from Firefly.
Nathan Fillion.
and-
Yeah, he does. He definitely
I just
does.
think that's
Yeah.
every time I look at him, I was like,
His name is Nate in the game. Guys, I want to transition. I want to Broadway a little bit here.
Ouching a wow.
Not a lot of heart in that one.
No heart.
Some other news that was released here this week. The first Zelda, we've been talking a little bit about Nintendo here. The first Zelda DLC is coming out this week. And I think Buddy has the list of things that you can get as a part of the first Zelda DLC, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I brought it up. So you get a few things. This one releases in the summer. First thing you get is Trial of the Sword, which is kind of like a cave of enemies. You go to different rooms, and there's wave of different enemies. And towards the end, you get the power of the Master Sword to be fully awakened, whatever that means.
Oh, I actually know what that means.
Oh, what's it mean?
That means it's always glowing. You know how when you have the Master
Oh.
Sword and you go into like an area that
You have
has
to be near Guardians.
and it goes to a 60.
Yeah.
It like doubles
It
the
jumps
power.
from 30 to 60.
It's the best single-handed weapon you can get in the game. So it's always unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's another 15. So I think it's up to 75. So it becomes like an instant kill weapon that never breaks and never goes away.
Okay. So you get that if you beat the Trial of the Sword. You also get then a little map feature. It's called Heroes Path Mode. So you can turn on, you can see where you've walked for the last 200 hours of gameplay. So that helps you explore the map and kind of figure out where you've been, where you haven't, to find things that you haven't found yet.
That's cool. That's really cool.
That's actually helpful.
Yeah.
You get a hard mode where enemies gradually regain health. And also they've added like floating airships in the sky that enemies will hang out on when you're gliding around.
The picture's adorable.
Yeah. You get a travel medallion, so you only get one of them, but you can place it wherever you want in the world to serve as a warp spot. They're coming out with some more armor, like Majora's Mask helmet, Midna's helmet from Twilight Princess, Phantom armor, which looks like a dark nut, and the outfit that Tingle wears, which is really
That one
funny.
looks awesome, right?
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
And there's a Korok mask, which shakes when you're near a Korok, so it kind of helps you locate where those are. So that's what comes with the first pack, and they're also releasing a second DLC pack, but the details on that aren't out yet. But supposedly it's supposed to be like a new dungeon and some new story elements, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I think that's what people are looking for. This seems like a tide you over DLC, right?
It's
it
a
comes
tide you
out.
over till the next story part because none of that increases the story.
It's pretty cool to get Majora's Mask, though. That'd be pretty sweet. I would do that. Where are you guys at in Zelda? We haven't talked. I know we talked a lot about it in our beginning shows, but we haven't talked about it in a while. Where are you in it?
have not touched it since I've given up. I'm still probably further than you.
You got
And I
all
have
the
not touched it.
all the shrines, right?
All the shrines. I've all 5 fairies. I have, probably over 120, 130. I only have 20 side missions left. That's it.
I'm catching up to you pretty fast. I have 6 shrines left. I don't know where they are. I don't want to look them up either and cheat. I have a little...
You found all of them but 6 without looking up anything.
It's more than me. I did all.
There was all right. There was
I had 107. So
There was
that
one I needed a hint how to get into it. And that's it. That's all I looked up.
cheater.
Oh, wow, I can't believe you did that, buddy. we have 70 shrines, so we're like way far behind. But we just beat our 4th divine beast. By the way, Blev, here's the obligatory apology for talking about Zelda this much. I know that
you're fine.
I want you to get a Switch, though. I want you to do it.
You want me to get a Switch?
Yeah.
As much as he wants me to get a PlayStation 4, to which I
This
will
is
not.
true. I know.
That'd probably
join
be
the
the same
dark
outcome.
But we just beat all the divine beasts. Like, we've done that, but we're going to take our time. We're not going to go to Hyrule Castle yet. We're going to wait and go find more shrines and Korok seeds and like finish up a lot of the... God, we have probably 30 side missions started that we haven't finished. You know what I mean? And, like, take some time and do that. So
Guess what? There's a rumor out. I don't know if you guys ever played the game called Bully, but Bully 2 is coming out.
Oh,
Potentially.
Apparently that was
Rockstar,
a-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I never
Potentially.
played it.
There's a rumor out there that's saying that's in
I thought
development.
there was a Bully 2. I thought there was 1 and 2. There's the...
No, there's
this
only
is-
one.
I thought there was 2.
There's only one, yeah.
Oh.
So Rockstar Games is notoriously tight-lipped about their projects in development. So they're talking about, so it's just, this article is just basically going over that Bully 2 is in development potentially. It's under tight lips.
I never played the first one. My brother-in-law did. He really liked it. But I never played it. I think the biggest Rockstar game was Grand Theft Auto. There was a few Rockstar. I mean, Red Dead Redemption will be
Oh,
great. 'cause
God,
that's
I
coming
can't
up
wait
with a
for
sequel.
that.
Yeah,
When
that's
does
going to be
that sequel
sweet.
come out?
This fall.
Yeah.
That's soon.
Yeah,
That
it's
game was
going
great.
to be amazing. I can't wait for that. And I loved Westworld so much on HBO that I want to continue that Western kick. Here's my perfect night. when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, I'm gonna like pour a little bit of bourbon because that just
Okay.
makes me feel like a cowboy. You
Makes
know
you
what
feel
I mean?